think I'm ready for you. I've been dreaming all night, bringing me some inspiration. Never meant to love no one, but baby,
I am super excited to show you the camera I just got, the Sony Cybershot RX100 VII 20.1 megapixel. Now, the top vlogging cameras are this one versus the Canon Cybershot G7 Mark III and Mark II. And I am going to tell you what drove me to get this one instead of the beloved Canon PowerShot G7. G7, Mark II, and Mark III are both similar to the Sony camera in the fact that they are also both 20.1 megapixels. They also both have the flip-up camera, and they're pretty similar in weight. The Mark II is 0.67 pounds, and then the Mark III is a tiny bit heavier at 0.71 pounds, and then the one I have here is the lightest at 0.6 pounds. But in reality, when you're holding the camera, you're not going to feel that much of a difference, but in the long run, it definitely does make a difference if you're holding it out all day. Then another big factor is the price. So the Mark II is $600, the Mark III is $750, and then this one here, the Sony, is about $1,300. So what drove me to pick the more expensive one is I was thinking that I'd want a camera that is a newer model. As I mentioned, the Mark II was about 4 years old, so I was thinking that, oh, the Mark III, brand new, that it would have all the features perfected, but no. The two red flags that I learned very quickly off of YouTube reviews was A, in the Mark III, the autofocus was not autofocusing at all, and then that is obviously a #1 priority, as who wants to have a blurry face, blurry background, blurry anything, and then to manually set it up is basically like defeating the purpose of you out vlogging away with your camera. And then another big red flag for the Mark III was that it was overheating quite quickly. And this would overheat, like, it's not like people are out as I am today and like 80-90 degree weather. No, they would be inside bowling, inside at an indoor golf center where it is room temperature or even colder, and the camera would still think that it was physically overheating when it's not. So that's definitely another tech error. Canon did release a update to try and help the autofocusing. There still hasn't been any sort of update released for the overheating, but again, even that update for the autofocusing did not solve the issues, so I just didn't want to purchase a $750 camera that was going to have all these issues and basically stopped me after about 10 minutes of filming. Looking at the Sony, the reasons behind the higher price point, I'm going to read off my notes. So it has the highest resolution at 3840 versus the Canon PowerShot G7 has 1920 by 1080p, and this one has 3840 by 2160p. So that is a very big difference. It's also the lightest weight one, and then it has 3.5 millimeter audio, and then it also has an external audio jack for adding that microphone, which the Canon does not. It has the best shutter speed at 31/32,000. It also has, as the Canon does, the 4K shooting. It also has various modes that the Canon does not. It also has great autofocus, where the Canon was having that issue. And then I'd say one of the biggest things is that 35mm zoom range. So that is about the same as those big attachments that you'll add on to those DSLR cameras. So that is all impacted in here in this tiny, less than a pound 2.6 pounds to be exact camera, so that is really amazing. And then it also has built-in image stabilization. Although this may not be your best camera to bring around to a sporting event, it would still do a really great job. And then also the biggest thing that I'm super excited to test out is the 1-inch sensor. So the sensor altogether will capture a better image, lower noise, greater depth of field, better color rendering, integrated flash, face and eye detection, and that basically all tied together is great for images, but also really sets it apart when it comes to shooting those videos. Alright, and then here will be a close-up of the actual camera and all of the buttons. So here is the front, and as you can see, as a little rotisserie chicken view will go around. So on this side we have that external microphone jack, an HDMI, and then a multi-source function. Alright, then on the back we have like your typical wheel, all of the modes, where you can adjust the settings, and then up on top we have where you can switch it, and it's actually so nice and auto because even if you're not messing with the aperture, it does switch modes for you depending on if it senses movement or a picture of like a flower, it would move to portrait on its own. And then this right here is the lens finder, so if you didn't want that and you only want to shoot through the screen, which does flip up, you have that. And then just on the other side we have that finder button, and then if we go below to the very bottom, as you can see with the Joby on it, you can't access this part, but in here is just where the battery and the memory card, as well as the battery and the memory card, since we charge it up there. And I'm just gonna turn it on to show you the zoom. So this is that huge zoom. So when you're here, this is just the normal one, and then as we extend it out, that is one big lens range. So that's definitely one of my favorite features, and it's obviously lightweight. And I'm super excited to show you guys the videos I make with these.